But first things first, when you guys log in, you simply go to PCATU.co and you click login. Now, if for any reason you got on this call and you don't have an account, which actually shouldn't be possible, but if somehow somebody got in here and didn't have a call, you're just going to, or account, you're going to click create account. Okay. Now, once we get to the affiliate side and you guys start sharing, you will actually not share PCATU.co. You'll share your affiliate link. Okay. And we can learn more about that as the group grows, and Dominique and I can put out exact info. We know that some of you are going to be really, 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 really excited about sharing the CRM. Dominique, can you speak to if this button works at all? Should I even, the affiliate results button, can they use that right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell them what they can do at least as of right now
So right now you go to affiliate results and you click on the CRM and courses affiliate program, and that's how you sign up to the affiliate program. And once you've signed up, then you should be able to click this link and see your statistics.
Wait, can you go back to what you clicked on?
Yeah, and mine isn't going to work. He told me because I'm a student and
yeah, Cathy has already signed up when she created the system, so she's under a different.
Got it up there.
Brand.
Okay.
So if you guys are new to the buttons, you can actually do this on your phone or computer. And I will give you a hack on, technically we're not an app, but all you do is go to Social Attaché or go to PCATU.co on your computer or your phone. But on your phone, I just tell my phone at the bottom to share and then add it to home screen. I don't know if you guys have ever done that. With any web page you're on your on your phone, and then when you add it to your home page, it just becomes a little square on your phone, and you can jump right back in, and it's kind of like an app. So it is mobile optimized. So the way this works is your menu's over here, and if you don't see the words, just click on menu, and it will open up. Okay. On your phone, it will be, and then it will probably default into training when you're new. This is the first tab that opens up is training, and when you first come into the system, he's got it set up where if you go to a page for the first time, there might be a pop-up window with some directions of what to do. But how do I get back to that? Is there a way? How do I go back to the pop-up window?
It's the question mark.
That's what okay, so that one didn't have a pop-up window then. Okay, so if you had a pop-up window on something and it went away and you want to go back to it, I'm going to go back. I should log into my account. Then if you hit question mark, if there were any pop-ups, it will show like little instructions for each page right here. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see if affiliate results has one. But you guys might notice that. Do you ever go to a website and the first time it pops up like information, you're like, where did that information sheet go? And it says, do you want this to remind you later, or do you want it to go away? And you say go away, but now you wish it could come back. If he has any pop-up windows on the front of the screen, you can reaccess them through the question mark. So that's my business affiliates. This is the section we're working on today. We're not today going into content, going into marketing, going into too much advanced. We're working mostly with our contacts, importing our contacts, organizing our contacts. This is the CRM side of it. But the integration with Facebook is the social side of it. So that's the guide part we're going to go through on our first call, because this is going to be the biggest, I don't know, time thing you've got to do to get all your leads and all your contacts and all your customers in. But now you can work with them all. Now you can organize them all. Now you can tag them all. Now you can put, automations on them all once you've got some people in there. Now, training in this section, just as a newbie, so you know, this is training that pertains to the CRM itself. It does not talk about my strategy at all, although you might hear alignment along the ways of how to do things. But this is not, these are all Dominique's videos that are awesome, but please don't think you have to go through all these, because I have not taken you through building a funnel yet, automated follow-up prospecting groups. So I will refer to trainings that are already done in here. But if you are I want to move ahead and I want to learn how this CRM works, he's got trainings in there for CRM users, right? And then I'm partnering these Facebook group Zoom trainings on top of that to more go in like a framework systematic process of how I would build as a basic, as a network marketer doing basic social marketing. So some people might have gone through these trainings. You might go, I'm trying to go step by step. But for example, today we are going to have to integrate with the CRM extension. So he's already got trainings under there. You just click on the training. And then if you're like, I need to figure out again how to do the whole extension thing, install extension, you just click finish and go to the next one. So you might because these are from him, he's the creator. Are the buttons different at all, or is it exactly the same as their buttons?
It should be the same. The color is going to be different because I recorded them using my account. The buttons should be the same. We didn't change much in that area.
Perfect. Okay, cool. So let's refer to your fast start guide. Amy Shalinar has been getting a lot of results from the CRM. She's been using it. She's an impact maker in our full program. And I was chatting with her and she's like, I think we need a guide for new users. So this is her brainchild. And then I gave my feedback on what I thought would be important for you guys to do right now. Okay. So if this is not done yet, this will be something you want to do. I would actually prefer you do it before Wednesday. So if you have tech issues, you can attend the support call on Wednesday and just bring them live to the call. You can also participate in the group, drop any questions there. It would be best if you guys leverage the Facebook group instead of me directly, just so that if your question is beneficial to others, we can see this common theme of the same question popping up, right? And somebody in the group might answer before me. So install the Google Chrome extension. Now, important to note, the extension is not called PCATU. The extension is called Social Attaché. Now, it says you can find the extension here. Open the Facebook, refresh the page. The way you guys do this is you've got to go to your Google Chrome extension. I wonder if she thinks that was clickable because it says double click to interact, but it's not double clicking for me. It might on your guys' PDF side. Does it? Let's see. It doesn't. I'll have to tell her that doesn't interact. So does anybody is anybody brand new and you're like, I literally have no idea what a Chrome extension is? Like, just unmute because it's okay if that's you. Okay. For the sake of replay, Dominique, when they get the extension for the first time, if we go into Google Chrome extensions and we search for Social Attaché, it doesn't always pop up. So do they get it sent to their email or should I add it to the group or what?
There's a link we can give them to go right to the store where it is. And when you go to the store, like you don't actually have to go to the extensions page here. You go to the store and then there's a button right on the page in the store, add to Chrome. If you're in Chrome when you're visiting the store. It'll be a link.
Maybe give me that link directly and then I could even put it as like a QR code or something so you guys can scan, go right to the extension, download it. And if you've never used extensions before, that might be new for you. And then Amy walks you through what you guys need to do. This is pretty important. After and Dominique, you stop me if you're like, no, Cathy, no, stop, Cathy, stop. Okay, then stop me. Okay, Social Attaché is the name of the extension, and it probably will be that way for quite a while, right? Like we'll use your main extension.
Yeah, I'm going to switch it eventually, but right now, to do that, I have to go through approval process with Google. So for now, it's just Social Attaché.
Okay, so even though we're called PCATU CRM, Social Attaché is the software that is running in the background. So that's what that will be called. Then the next step on your thing says, go open up your Facebook and refresh the page. Choose your provider. This is going to be important. You have to choose PCATU CRM as your provider because you are not going through Social Attaché. You're going through PCATU CRM. So once you've done that and you guys got this little guy up here and running, this little blue S, and it says select provider, you need to make sure to choose PCATU CRM trainings and templates, not Social Attaché, because they can see all three, correct? So make sure you guys are linked to the actual CRM because you do not have an account in Social Attaché. You have an account in PCATU CRM. Dominique and I are the only ones with the social attache direct account. So you'll click right there. And now what's going to start happening is it's going to start talking the extension to the CRM. And that matters. This is where you might need some tech support. Okay. There's going to be a pop-up window and it says, hey, do you want to link your Facebook account? And you simply follow the prompts that pop up. Now, here's something else that threw me for a loop. Just as a new user, you guys might notice this. If you've never used a Chrome extension that's talking to Facebook like this before, there's going to be a pop-up window. And it's important that you don't close this window or use this window. It says the system is working its magic here. So where is my pop-up window? It's running somewhere in the background, and sometimes it pops up. There will be another Google Chrome page. Am I running right now? Let me see if, I just switched over to PCATU CRM. When you've got the CRM running, let's turn mine on. Dominique, tell me if I've got to be hooked into social attache. You see this whole little refresh thing happening. I've got to be logged into my account, not a student account. That would be bad. So make sure we're matchy, right? And then you guys might see like your computer take over for a second. Like all of a sudden things just start popping up. And my instinct was to shut them down. And he's like, no, don't shut that down. I was like, okay, what's happening? And so, there it goes. Did you see that? Like, did you see that? It was like magic. Okay,
so
what
it's
happened?
Creating another window and then pushing it behind this main window. But
It just happened.
You get a little flash.
Yes, it flashed. And I was like, what just happened? So now I want to find that other window. This is that other window. And this is the page you're never supposed to mess with, because this is where the magic's happening. Now, what would be our sign that this is the page we're not supposed to mess with?
That yellow box.
Oh, thank you. The yellow box that's right there, it says this tab is being used by social attache. Do not use any of the tabs in this browser, as this will impact your automations. So the reason why it has Facebook pulled up is because it's kind of showing you where it's working at with the extension in Facebook. Then it's got this other tab that says, don't touch me. You don't want to actually mess with anything on this. You want to leave this whole thing, just leave it be, right? So mine has the page that I had been working on, and then it has this page that started running behind it. And for a while, mine was glitching out a little bit where it kept popping that up in the front. We haven't had that issue at all since the beginning. But if you notice any issues or you have questions, just ask. Does anybody have questions about that or notice that and been like, what do I do with that second page? If you cut that down, your automations aren't going to work when you're running automations, because that's the whole thing working.
And if you try to close it, the extension will try to open it again. Or if you try to minimize it, the extension will try to bring it up again. So just leave it alone, leave it behind. Because if it's not up and behind, if it's not up, the extension can't do any work.
Yeah. So the next thing that we recommend you guys do, I would for sure do it before next Monday when I do another training. But if you can do it before Wednesdays, you guys, then if you have any tech issues, you've got a live support call, okay, is start importing your friends and all of your contacts. And so Amy gives you some directions here. Oh, see, it popped up because I tried to shut it down earlier. Okay. If you want to selectively add your friends, what that means is if you want to choose who on Facebook is going to go into the CRM, and this is what Rosalind's been doing, there's going to be a little blue arrow when you hover over their name in the news feed, and you can just click the arrow and download that person into your CRM. Like say, hey, add this as a contact. The other way is you can go to their profile and the arrow will be at the top right directly above the gray friends button, okay? It says your contacts will start to import automatically, or you can also upload a CSV of your contacts. And so I'm going to show you these two areas. Dominique, does it anymore? It doesn't do the mass import of the whole friends list anymore. Is that correct?
Yeah, we don't import friends anymore. You have to go to your friends custom lists and select which ones you want to be imported, because we're getting people complaining they're importing people that aren't really business related contacts.
That's okay. So for now, we won't do a training on that yet. Maybe we could do that next week. But for now, you guys, if you haven't not imported anybody at all yet, you're like, I need some contacts in there. I need some of my people. You can start by working with adding people to the CRM from your Facebook friends. If you understand how to import from friends lists because you've been in the system, you might already know that step. I'm not going to tackle that step today. We can save that for next week because that's a huge feature of the system. But when you're starting to play on Facebook, if your extension's running, you're going to see your little blue suitcase. I call it a suitcase. Is that my business briefcase?
It was a logo I put together because it's called social attaché. It's supposed to be an attaché case.
And I bet that is like
S is for social.
I don't even know what an attaché case is. What is an attaché case?
It's a thin briefcase.
Oh, okay. See? We learned. Okay. So Annette, imagine I want to import her over to my CRM. That was the download post. Hold on. I just did the wrong button, didn't I? I'm importing her posts. Look at that. That's exciting. Don't even worry about what I just did there. Annette, if you want to be importing friends from your Facebook directly, how come it didn't give me the arrow? Because she's already there. Is that why? She's already
Which arrow?
She's already my contact.
Oh, yeah. She's already a contact.
Gotcha.
The download button is for people who aren't in your CRM.
Okay. So you guys might not have, probably all my people are not going to have an arrow. Because I import everyone. But if you guys don't have them imported, there's going to be a blue arrow. If you do have them imported, it's going to link to their little card right within Facebook. Now you can use the arrow to go over to your back office. It will show the same thing. But this is where Rosalind was kind of working with starting to get into some conversations, being like, okay, I'm hanging out over on Facebook. There's Joyce. She's on my team. I need to download her into the CRM and there will be a blue arrow right there. Okay. So you guys can work on some friends purposefully for now, not mass importing, but really think about and have some fun importing some people over. Next week, we can learn about creating friends list if you've never done that. Now, if you have already created friends list and you're positive that you want to import them, then that is a newer feature that's awesome. But make sure you guys are very, very happy with your friends lists because you don't want to just mass import people and have a messy system. Like that's what some of us are going through right now. So if you've been using friends lists inside of Facebook itself and you're like, yeah, I've got these people already organized, you can also import the complete friends custom list into the system and bring over a group of people. We can talk more about that next week and I can stay for questions on that too. But I wouldn't just lightly import people just because they're on Facebook. That is not really the goal. You want to import people who, you know, you can actually go, oh, this makes sense. I want this girl here. We're going to talk about tags in a minute here too. Now that's the way you can import Facebook friends. We can talk more about that. The other thing on the guide that you guys can do is upload CSV file. This was a huge project for me, okay? And uploading a CSV file meant that I went into my network marketing company. I went into any other CRMs I have, any other marketing systems I have, anywhere that has a database of my contacts, and I downloaded CSV files, okay? And then I came into the system, and granted, I'm going to get out of this account. I'm going to go to mine. Mine's a little different color. I was building my contact database by letting it sync over with Facebook. Okay, so remember, you know, you're hovering over somebody or you're in somebody's contact card. Let's go to Roxanne's card. If you're hovering over her or you're already in her little profile there and you've got the blue download arrow, which should be populating here, then you
got a lot of tags, so just scroll it.
It's hiding.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay. So yours would be a blue download arrow in this area because you guys don't have her in there yet. You can start importing friends. That is like a purposeful way. We'll learn about tagging them. But also get those people, your downloads for your team, your downloads for your customers. If you've been texting them, emailing them, anything, and then you simply go over to My Business. You go to Contacts, And then I just did, and I want to, up in the top right, this is like, hey, I want to take an action. This is, I want to do something on this page, right? And I did import contacts from a file. And this took a little bit to get all of my people in, but wherever you have saved that CSV on your computer, okay, so maybe you just did the download, maybe you already have the download, as long as it's a CSV, then you can click, oops, shoot, that was the wrong file. You can click whatever file it was, and then you can import the whole list of people. And this will take you through a couple of steps called, do you call it mapping, Dominique? Like,
Yeah, mapping different things. Yeah.
This is pretty important too. So when you import something, what's going to happen is, depending on that CSV file or that, Google Sheet or whatever that was downloaded, right? It's going to already have information in it. And if you've ever done any mapping because you switched email providers and you imported lists, it's going to do like this matching thing. And you don't want to take this screen lightly, because this is what is going to make sure that your old CSV file matches the same fields as our current CRM. So we literally want to go through each of these and double check in the current versus what it's coming over as. Do they match? So it says for us, full name is what our system has a line for. And over in my sheet, it says it's not importing their full name, possibly because I didn't have, am I doing that right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, that's right. So
Okay.
This one didn't get mapped, so you might want to map to the display name.
So I could make it match. So on our CRM, it's called full name, or on the old system, it's called full name. I'm trying to figure out which way is left and right.
Left is the old system. The right
Okay.
is the CRM.
That's what I want to know. Okay, so I said it backwards. So these are the fields that are coming in from where I have the information. And this is what it's going to match to in our system.
Yeah.
So I said it backwards. So on the file, they have something called full name. So I want to match it. What do I want to match it to? If we don't have something that's exactly called that, but we have something called close to it, like display name, you could call it that. If they just pick like a random wrong one, then what's going to happen is, say you pick anniversary, it's going to put whatever your sheet, your CSV file had, whatever it had in the name, it's going to map it to the anniversary field. And you don't want that to happen. It probably just broke the system by doing that, by the way. I shouldn't have done.
No, it's probably just another bug. I'll have to look at it.
It's like, we don't like you doing that. So full name does not match with anniversary. Doesn't make sense, right? So you want to double check all these. I know this is kind of slow and tedious for me to explain it this way, but this matters. So make these fields match, and then you'll have this beautiful system filled with the right information. Bio text, this is from the current system. It picked up the text that was on the person's bio. Example, their marketing message, right? We don't have something like that. So I'd probably put that under what? Custom value?
It might be under note if you don't have something else that also uses note field.
Okay.
Because one of the issues you have here is that it has to be the mappings have to be unique. So you can't put more than one field that's on the left into the same field on the right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So first name matches with first name. That makes sense. Last name matches with last name. But look at what it's thinking. It's like, oh, in the file I'm uploading, there's their email. It's trying to map it to the street address. Obviously, that's wrong. Right? So you guys just want to double check that it's guessing the mapping correctly, because it may not be predicting that correctly. So email should match email. This is how you could get your whole team in here, your whole customer. Okay, so what's wrong with this now? What do I do?
So it looks like you mapped the email address to something, and whatever was on the left looks like people's names. So it's trying to tell you that you've got a mapping that's incorrect. So if you go down the list on the right looking for email addresses, you've got default, or no, it could be that the CSV file is incorrect too.
Yeah,
So
they didn't put their email in, so it's not going to match right. Okay,
Yeah.
So keep working. And if there's something you guys just simply don't want to import, okay, like it doesn't make sense, depending on the file you're pulled in. My company example tracked how many credits they had, who their upline sponsor is, what date they signed up, what date they're for renewal. So depending on the file you're importing, there's going to be all this random information on the left. Some of it I did want to import, and I did want to keep that. Example with my network marketing business, how many credits I had on file. Well, that's going to change all the time. So I was debating on that one, but the who their sponsor was, that was a big deal, right? So for that kind of stuff, if it says global tag, I don't know, if there's something that is something I'm like, yeah, I want to have all that come in, upline name, whatever, then I made a custom field. Is that how you would do it? If we don't, I just did custom value and then named it.
So if there's a value that doesn't map to something that's pre-made in the CRM, you can create a custom entry for it.
Yeah, it still doesn't like their email. So over here where then it says custom value and there's a line or an L, you need to name, what do I want to name that? All right. So you can name it exactly what it was named coming in, or you can name it something else. So this was a lot of fun for me, but I wouldn't take this section lightly. Now, when it comes to tags, we're not importing. What if people have like this? Imagine they're doing Aweber, okay, and it has tags already. The only thing I would be worried about is I highly doubt anybody has any tag automation set already unless they've copied something of mine. So is there any advice you'd give them on importing tags? If they have an email or something, they might have tags importing.
So the tags, I think, are very important to import because that's how you segment your audience, right? So I would import tags. I would put that as tags. The problem you have here is you have tags already up there at status label, like 4 up.
Yeah.
And so you have to remove it.
I don't even want status label. I'm just going to not import that.
Yeah. So like I said, you want to have each column imported from one source. So the tags would probably be, and that one, we'll have to look at your import file because I think there's probably some bad emails in there.
Yeah.
So sometimes you might have to look at the data you're importing, because if you're importing an email field, but in your CSV file, there's some invalid emails in there, like people didn't type in a correct email, they typed in garbage, the system won't let you import that. So you might have to manually edit the CSV file. But if you get any errors like that, just send me the CSV file and I'll go through it and make sure it's clean.
So you guys, this will probably be a pretty big job. And I can't tell you for sure. I know Dominique's had to work with some different network marketers to help you figure out how to download your list. Every email provider is different. So whatever system you're running everything in, we imported probably 7,000 contacts. But what he's talking about is once you have that file, right? So once you have a file, it might be good before you just say, yeah, import the whole thing, is to kind of take a look through it. And so I'm not going to pull up all the data for people. Let me pause this share for a second and I'll make sure there's no names. I'll move over to a part of the page. But just taking a look, especially if you're going to import a ton of people, taking a look and just peeking around if what you're about to import, maybe you don't even care about importing some of that information. Then before you pull it into the system, you can just upload it on the file. I'm not going to mess with that. I was going to try to screen share a file, but it's got too much information on it. So if you guys are working on that this week and you're stuck, this is just the first part of getting information into the software so that you can start talking with your people. The last sections are about adding tags to your people. Dominique, I probably want you to explain the difference between journey tags and if you call them global tags or customer tags, because that's pretty important. So I'll let you talk about that in a second, but I want to show you guys why tags matter, because this is the fun, awesome part. Once you tag your people, you can filter them according to tags. You can send messages around things that only pertain to certain tags. And then you can also set automations only to certain tags. So I'll let you talk about tags in a second here, but example, you guys all have tags. And the users on this call right now have CRM user tags that I've told the system, hey, give this. Behind that are a couple things I can do. I've connected an automation, which you'll learn more about in the future, to anybody that has this tag, meaning it will check in with you at certain points. It can send you a welcome registration email. It can tag you and post on Facebook. It can, I could set up funnels or automations or anything with tags. You guys will learn more about that. But the star of where the Fast Start Guide speaks to is simply creating filters. This alone has helped me and Carlos so much, because here you got this list of 70 people or 700 or 7,000. You're like, what? I can easily go, oh, system, go to my contacts, and I want to sort, and I only want to see my current Impact Maker students. By the way, I want to go ahead and select all of them, and then I want to go ahead and send them a quick text message, or I want to go ahead and send them an email, or I want to add myself a task to take a certain action on them, or I want to add or remove another tag to them. There's so much you can do just within the CRM portion that's incredible. Partnered with the advanced strategies and automations that we'll continue to build, game over, right? It's going to be incredible. But you've got to figure out the first basics. And how fun would it be this week, you guys, if you got your customers ordered? Like, I'm starting to sort all of my people. I pulled in a mass import of everybody with a discount account in my company. And now I got to play mad cleanup on them and reconnect with them. You guys are over 600 people. And I don't know, 90% of them haven't ordered in a while. Now I can get in front of all of them. I can sort them. I can do things. So Dominique, before they can actually create filters, can you talk to us just about the difference between the different type of tags? Because this does matter.
Yeah, so there's different kinds of tags, but the tag concept itself is so important because it allows you to put people into groups. It allows you to say, these are my customers. These are people who are interested in losing weight. These are people who are interested in improving their skin. There's lots of different reasons that people would be in your business, and tags allow you to group them, right? And they're not exclusive, right? You might have somebody who's interested in earning more money and losing some weight, right? So they can be in more than one of these tag groups, right? But it's just a concept to group people depending on certain criteria. So when you're thinking about tagging people, you have to think about, what are those criteria, right? What do I care about knowing about these people? Like Cathy wants to know things like who are in which of her, different categories of business, right? So she has the impact makers, and so she has a tag for that. So you have to think about, what are the tags I need in my business? And so you start by thinking about these different categories, right? And the next thing is to think about, in this business that I have, what is the kind of a linear progression that somebody goes through, like the path or journey that they go on from starting as somebody I don't know anything about, and they don't know anything about me, to being somebody who's a customer or, a business builder, somebody on my team, or some other goal, right? So there's a path between their starting point and whatever goal you have for them. And that path has steps along the way. And that path we call either a journey or a pipeline. And so you would create like Cathy's showing here on the screen share at the top, there's a journey, right? And in that journey, there's all the steps, the linear steps that you go. At the top is a cold prospect, somebody who doesn't know anything about you. And at the bottom is a consultant, right? So that's the steps in between that initial starting position and the end position of that person, right? And they might not go through all the steps. They might skip some steps, right? But most of the people will go through most of those steps. And it's another way of managing this growing list of people you have in your business is knowing where they are in their journey, right? So if you have somebody who is brand new, you might want to send them a specific kind of message, right? But if they're farther down that journey, say they're interested in becoming a host, they haven't hosted for you yet, but they're interested in becoming a host, and you have a party coming up, you might email all the people who are interested about becoming a host saying, hey, I have a party coming up. Are you guys in or out, right? So that's why we have these kind of distinction between tags that are just categories, like they want to lose weight, and tags that are based on where they are in a particular journey. And most businesses will have one journey, right? This is a typical journey between being a close prospect and a consultant, but you might have more than one. Like Cathy has different end goals for people. She has people that want to join her business, and then she has people who want to join her network marketing business, and other people want to join her coaching business. So she might have two of these journeys, right? So that's where you want to kind of focus on the tags as categories of things you care about and these journeys that you care about. And then when you're the third thing I want to mention is more about when you're importing people into your system, like any way they can get in, like with our, importing from group members, or importing from your friends list, or importing through, Cathy's going to talk about a funnel. Any of these entry points where people are coming into the CRM, you want to have at least one tag, right? You want to know that they're at least tagged, and most likely that's going to be in a journey, right? So everybody's coming in and tagged. Because what happens if you don't do that is you're going to have a whole bunch of people in your CRM that you don't know anything about, right? It's like having a phone book, right? There's no information about where they are, what they're interested in, or anything like that. All you have is their name, phone number, and email, right? So it's very important to tag people at those points where they come into the CRM.
So I'm going to import Mary. I don't know. We are friends, but she's not in the system yet. So I'm going to import as a contact, which means she probably won't have any tags yet because she's brand new. So then what we can do is we can pick from the current list of tags by just typing, or we can create a new tag. Okay. So if I wanted to create a new tag because there is one that didn't exist, then I could do that. Now, why is it not pulling up my current list though? It should be pulling up my list.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Right here, it should. It should.
It should.
I'll do a refresh.
It looks like it's not pulling up any tags for you.
Yeah, I know. It should just be auto-filling right there. One thing real quick before you guys start working on importing people, I would spend a decent amount of time on deciding some key containers for people, maybe as a little bit of homework, before you just start being like, oh, great, I can start tagging all these people, right? So where do we talk about tags? I can just start creating all these random tags. The journey tags that they get, okay, so the tags that are already in there are great if you just want to use them that, but journey, he already said it, they only get one is the goal, one only, because I kind of look at it like stages, right? Stages of, you're crawling, now you were just born, now you're bottle feeding, now you're crawling, now you're walking, now you're 18 months old, now you're 19 months old, now you're 20 months old. You don't be in one of those at different times kind of thing with stages. But with tags that are they considered global tags then, or what are the contact tags? What are they called if they're not journey tags?
We don't have a name for the separate ones. We have journey tags.
Okay.
Or just tags.
Okay. So then I'm going to say regular tags. I'm going to say just contact tags. Okay. Journey tags. Then the problem is you guys could go crazy like I did. If you look over at how many, look at all these bazillion tags. And Dominique's like, you really don't want 1,000 tags. I'm like, I kind of like 1,000 tags. But as simple as you can think of tags as like lists or buckets, and really maybe get organized mentally with not the journey tag, not the part, are they a lead? Are they a customer? Are they a business prospect? Not that. That's where are they at in the journey. they're going to get one of those. But then alongside of that, with a tag might be healthy living interest, might be workouts, interest. I don't know. I try to think of buckets that I'm going to sort these people down by. He talked about the hosting thing, but what if your company's running a special on skincare and you're with a company that has 9 different product lines, and then you've got your skincare interest people, or you've got your skincare, you've got your customer list, but you've got your RE9 users or something like that, right? So I tag according to journeys, but then I also tag you guys according to like challenges that you're in or classes that you're in, because behind each of these can be an automation. So we can not give you any new work to do today, but I want to explain to you guys each tag can have a sequence behind it with an automation specific to just that tag, right? And so what if you had a sequence for people while they were in this stage of leads, 238 people that haven't moved forward? What if I'm nurturing them differently than once they're a customer, right? So these are the reasons why we want to keep this as clean as possible, not go crazy, because what am I doing with all these tags? Why do they matter? Yes, I can sort right away under my business, go to contacts. I can just sort down and create filters. But if you have 1,000 tags, you won't even know what to filter. So the last part of Fast Start Guide was, once you do have kind of your key tags that matter to you, you can go to contacts and go to filter and go to edit filters. And you can create a tag based on what makes sense to you. So I might say ambassadors, which they already have a tag, who, this is just a filter name, use lifestyle bundle. I don't know what I'm thinking right now. But then my tags could be, now I can attach certain tags. I can attach only people who have the ambassador tag, and only people, I don't even know what I called my ambassador tag, only people who, who are a team member, only people who have whatever. I've got to know my tags. This is why not knowing your tags matters, because clearly I have 1,001. Then you could say, okay, create a filter just around those people. So our filters, if I go to edit filters and you guys can see what we've done, very quickly, I can jump to action takers who are not in impact. Very quickly, I can jump to CRM users. Very quickly, I can go to VIPs from the last challenge. Very quickly, but I had to do it through edit filters. So if you want to change any of them, click on edit filters, choose the filter that you want to change, okay? And then you'll pull up the settings. So here I told make a filter around people who have this tag. Maybe you want to make a filter on people who have that tag but don't have another tag. Then you can simply save it. Now you're positioned and ready to start using the system for some messaging. Next week, we can talk about, well, how do I text them? Well, you got to get a number in there. How do I email them? You got to sync your email, right? Can I Facebook message them right now? Yeah, as long as you imported them through Facebook, you could actually be Facebook messaging with them right through the system, okay? So we'll learn more about that. Right now, this is a big setup week. We went over an hour on this intro call and your first training to get started. What I need from you guys to do, I'll save that. I need you guys to make sure you're comfortable with importing people from Facebook. You've got the extension downloaded. You've got it running, right? You're importing some friends. You're starting to work with tagging. You're understanding filtering. You can hold off on messaging. You don't have to be messaging this week because you may not have full strategy, or if you get it, you want to start playing with it, you can start messaging with the type of messaging options you have in there. So if Facebook Messenger would work with people who have Facebook linked with your CRM. Texting will not work if you have not added texting on. Email will not work if you haven't imported your email address yet. So we can work on that, okay? Don't forget to go into the Facebook group to ask questions. Come over on Wednesday to go through any tech stuff, but be asking in the group, participating in the group, and using the featured post across the top for however you need us to get you some questions answered. And then I'll just come, I'm not going to Zoom every Monday. I'll come live every Monday at 12 o'clock with the training that I'm recommending. You walk through, do this week, bring all your questions. It's like your homework for the week. So each week you'll have a new little section that you're building out on this. Okay. Thank you guys for so much of your time. If you hung on to the end, I'm impressed. An hour and 12 minutes. We are super excited. You have to just dive in. Just like anything, like it is like not going to make sense till you use it. Okay. So if there's anything we missed, we can unmute if there's any final things. And then I'll see you guys Wednesday at the support call and in the group.
If you have any concerns, questions, you're stuck or anything like that, don't waste a lot of time. Like I've known people who they get stuck and then they just leave it. I'll come back to it tomorrow. If you get stuck, if you're like spending an hour trying to figure something out, just click on that question mark, put a support ticket in, and get somebody to help you out. Because a lot of times, you might not be the only one who's stuck doing that thing. And if I don't know about it, I can't help those people, right? It might be something I need to improve with the system. It might not be what you're doing specifically, right? So don't be afraid of reaching out, use the question mark, and just submit a question or whatever. But when you do, please provide a lot of information. Sometimes, actually a lot of the time, I get questions like, I tried to upload a photo and it didn't work. And there's literally nothing I can do about that, right? If you don't tell me all the information, like I opened up this funnel, this is the name of the funnel. I went to this page, I clicked on that button and I went to upload a photo and I got this error message and here's a screenshot of it. That is something I can work on, right? Because I have enough information. So make sure you provide enough information. For example, if you're working on a Facebook post and the automation is not working, send me a permalink to the post so I can go and look at it, right? It doesn't, I need all the information you can provide. So when you do one of these things, read it and imagine yourself, I can't see what you're doing. Did I provide enough information here for him to reproduce what I did so that he can fix it? So that's all. And
don't delete this. Like that, can they delete that if they wanted to?
Yeah, it's helpful for me to see what you were doing. Like here, I can just see that Cathy was, she went to the messages page. She searched with some filters and she was at the tagging page, right? So it just gives me a bit of information about what she was doing before she reported the problem.
And then email or text is just how they'll be notified once.
Yeah. So you probably want to click those boxes so that when I make changes to this ticket, you get notified about it, right?
Okay. Cool. All right. So you guys, you're building and you're working on first things first, getting contacts in there. And if you're like, I have no contacts, well, then that's a problem. We got to work on some strategy, but a lot of you have contacts. So be getting them in there, thinking about your buckets, your lists, your tags you want to attach to the people. Amy gave a great tip on the guide. When you bring them in, assign them a tag. Bring them in, assign them a tag. So when you do that import down button from Facebook, then you can type people's information in there, but that's not the whole point. The extension is it will just like suck the information out of Facebook, push it into the CRM, right? And then once you learn how to do some automations and custom friends list and Facebook group, you'll be able to just pull in lists of people. So we can work on that next week. So if you have any issues with your account, let me know. Jean, you just go to PCATU.co. I think you already have an account or else you wouldn't be in this group, and just log in. So if you have any issues with that, just let me know. And then Carla, I know I'll see you soon. So let's take a bathroom break. If anybody has questions, you can stay on with me for a minute, but I'm going to cut the recording. So Facebook Live, you got homework to do, and I will see you Wednesday at the call and Monday on the next training.
So Cathy, you had a question there about tagging people who attend events. So I wouldn't tag people who attend specific events because you're going to end up with a lot of tags eventually. I would tag them with maybe the type of the event, what was the goal of the event, and then categorize people by that. But a specific event I don't think is good because it's very rare you're going to go back and look at who attended the event on the 4th, right? Kind of thing. You're more interested in who attended a healthy living event or something like that.
Or if you're getting narrowed down, Cathy's not on here anyway right now, but for anybody, I did make a tag that was a temporary tag because I wanted some very specific filter down information for our last challenge. And then I just went to contacts. I pulled that whole list and then I just untagged and retagged with the tag that was like more the permanent tag. Because for long term, I don't need to know so much detailed information, but I don't know. I don't know if that would be helpful, but for automations and such, it's not helpful, but I just wanted to filter down specifically. It's like who did homework that day or something. I don't know. Okay, you guys, it'll just keep falling into place. Go take action on it. Use your extension just like Rosalind's doing to help you get some of those contacts over. Pull in from your databases that you have anywhere. Start just getting your contacts organized so we can start putting automations behind those before we start going and bringing in some new people. Work with the ones you have. So I'll see you guys Wednesday, and then I'll be training next week, 12 o'clock on Mondays, just with what I think you should be doing next, building on what should have been done from this training today. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye for now.